Welcome back to the channel. Today we're sharing a touching yet humorous story about dreams and family. The next day, the school sent over Mike's acceptance letter, and Annie was shockingly surprised to see her husband's signature. Although keeping Mike was Anna's choice, her husband didn't oppose it and silently supported her by changing the contact name to his own. The school's feedback was absurd: 50 for learning, 30 for social skills, but perfect for protection. Annie was taken aback by that protective score. At least he's a champ in one area. After all, he's a star in Quanju for that. To enhance Mike's learning, Annie took the kids to the library, where 3 children read fairy tales, evoking childhood memories. Annie reminisced about her kids' childhood when they eagerly awaited bedtime stories. No wonder their dreams were so sweet. Annie, out of curiosity, inquired Mike about the stories he had ever heard, but the answers turned out to be unexpectedly poetic and side-splittingly funny. That night, while handing out books, Annie cheerfully told the kids a little story. Her daughter quietly listened from outside the door, thinking how Mom was and always will be so kind, and Mom's unconditional kindness encouraged Mike to open up and blend into the new family, no longer being just the quiet giant. As the family excitedly prepared to dine out, curious Mike asked little Sean why they weren't going to their own chain of restaurants. But Sean mysteriously replied that today was a special day, and the plot thickened. Mike had successfully made the cut for the spring football team, and that was a big deal to get anyone's adrenaline pumping. Under the family's influence, Mike gradually learned how to mix and mingle with the other kids. The kids no longer feared him, and when his sister saw them joyfully playing at school, her heart melted too. She believed that innocent individuals like Mike deserved to be embraced by the world's kindness. While other sisters cast disdainful glances at Mike, his sister chose to sit silently by his side, offering unwavering support, just like a little angel. Christmas rolled around, and everyone eagerly posed for family photos, only for Annie to spot Mike sitting quietly on the staircase. Without the slightest hesitation, she invited Mike to be a part of it, and the camera captured a touching, heartwarming scene that warmed the entire room. When handing out cards, Anna's friends were shocked, teasing her about adopting a black boy. Talk about the buzz in the neighborhood. Although Annie had constantly emphasized that Mike was a great guy, it was obvious that those jokes were completely ignored, with her friends being utterly absorbed in their own world. As a mother, she felt the need to understand her daughter's real feelings, only to discover her daughter's kindness had triumphed over all the gossip. Her daughter wished for Mike to stay, and her tolerance filled Annie with pride while solidifying her determination. Deep down, Mike longed for an identity of his own, so he boldly asked Annie if he could get a driver's license. Subtitles. Annie looked utterly puzzled and said, "Why on earth do you need a driver's license? You don't even own a car." Mike said earnestly, "I've recently realized that this is of great importance to me." Annie suddenly understood. "Oh, I see what you mean." But when the day came to apply, they found no trace of him in the system. Not even Mike knew his own name, which gave Annie an idea, a more direct way to help: adopt Mike. Staff told Annie that given the family situation, the usual procedures wouldn't apply, but Annie didn't want to strip any mother of her identity. She believed every child had the right to know their roots, so she painstakingly tracked down Mike's birth mother. "Are you from America?" Annie asked. Her birth mother replied, "No, Imlayandur," shocking Annie. Upon hearing her son's name, the mother dropped her guard, finally allowing Annie into the room. Her long-term drug issues made her look a bit weary, but she attempted to dress appropriately as Annie expressed her wish to formally adopt Mike. The birth mother looked at Annie and warned, "One day you might just find Mike is gone." Because he was sent to many foster homes when he was young, he will exhaust all means to return to his mother no matter who takes him. Such memories made her feel unworthy of being a mother, so when she learned that Anna's family treated Mike as their own, she was reluctant to embrace an even brighter world while facing a particularly urgent family meeting. Annie and her husband excitedly proposed to Mike that they wanted to become her legal guardians. It felt like a dream come true. Mike felt amazed and scared at the same time, while her sister smiled and gave an encouraging look a sweet moment. At that, the room erupted in laughter, while Anna's eyes were filled with tears at Mike's response. Soon after, Mike got her driver's license, and Mr. Sean gave her a cool pickup truck. It felt like a gift from above. This truck became their trusty sidekick for outings, but surprises always show up when you least expect them. One day, while Mike was driving little Anne home, a truck suddenly swerved into their path, and when Annie arrived, she was met with utter devastation. Strangely, little Anne only had minor injuries, an absolute miracle. Even the rescue team's captain could hardly. Normally, airbags injure a child's neck in such accidents, but this time they changed direction and saved little Anne's life. When Annie went to comfort a guilt-ridden Mike, she unexpectedly noticed his arm was injured. "Mike, what happened to your arm?" Mike replied, "I stopped and used my hand to protect little Anne." It dawned on Annie what really happened. At that moment, his protective instinct manifested, yet that very skill later became his Achilles heel on the football field. Soon after, Mike officially kicked off his football career, and the excitement was just beginning.